Hi, I'm Saajida and I would like to welcome you to this discussion on plagiarism and Turnitin. What is plagiarism? Plagiarism is derived from two Latin words, plagiaris, which means an abductor, and plagiare, which means to steal. Plagiarism occurs when a student submits someone else's work as his or her own, copies words or ideas from someone else without giving credit, fails to put a quotation in quotation marks, gives incorrect information about the source of a quotation, changes words but copies the sentence structure of a source without giving credit, copies so many words or ideas from a source that it makes up the majority of their work, whether they give credit or not. There are different types of plagiarism. These include full plagiarism. This is also known as complete plagiarism. Full plagiarism, then, refers to copying somebody else's original content word for word and presenting it as one's own. Partial plagiarism. This refers to making use of synonymous vocabulary or simply changing sentences from active to passive voice and vice versa. The student tries to be original, but the work does not contain any first-hand research. Minimalistic plagiarism. The student attempts to copy ideas, opinions, thoughts, and concepts of another author in such a way that his work does not seem like it has been plagiarized. Mosaic plagiarism, when a student changes the construction of the sentence but does not bother to change the original wording. Source plagiarism. Sometimes the author that a student is referring to may have quoted some other author in his work. Plagiarism in such cases takes place when due credit is not given to the primary author. Source citation. Some students quote the name of the source but provide no other accessible information, while some others provide false references. Turnitin. To check the originality of a student's work, we run it through a web-based software program called Turnitin. This applies to the proposal and the final draft of the dissertation. The Turnitin program detects matches with internet sources, publications, and other student papers. The results are presented in the form of an originality report. The student submitted work is presented on the left-hand side and the matches it finds on the right-hand side. Turnitin uses color coding to identify sources. Each color on the report corresponds with a source from which the information has been taken. At the top right-hand corner of the report, the overall similarity index is listed as a percentage. The maximum similarity index that is currently allowed is 25%. Turnitin will not count quotes within quotation marks or bibliography entries informing these percentages. If the similarity index of your work is above 25, you will be sent the report and you will be required to rewrite all the areas which appear in color on the report. To avoid any confusion, we generally don't encourage students to submit work to Turnitin in their personal capacity. However, if you do submit your work to Turnitin, you need to send us a copy of the originality report. On the next slide is an example of an originality report. As you can see, the similarity index is 41%, which is above the acceptable limit. The student will be sent the report and will be required to rewrite all the areas which appear in color on the report. How to avoid plagiarism? How can you avoid plagiarism? Well, it is not difficult. You simply need to ensure that you give credit to the author whenever you use another person's idea, opinion, or theory. Any facts, statistics, graphs, drawings, or other pieces of information that are not common knowledge. You can either use direct quotations, put in quotation marks everything that comes directly from the text, or paraphrase, writing in your own words what the author has said and referencing the information. This does not mean simply rearranging or replacing only a few words. Paraphrasing should be used more often than quoting. Try to make use of quoting only when an idea cannot be rewritten because the essence of the information will be lost. Here is a simple exercise that you can follow when paraphrasing. First, Read the paragraph thoroughly. Next, close or cover the text so that you cannot see any of it. Then, try to write out the idea in your own words. Check the paraphrase against the original text to be sure that you have not accidentally used the same phrases or words and that the information is accurate. Finally, ensure that you acknowledge the source of the information by listing the author's surname and the year in brackets. This wraps up our discussion on plagiarism. I hope that this discussion has been useful to you. For further information on Turnitin, you can use the following link. Thank you for your time.